Archaeologists and scientists have unearthed many peculiar findings on Earth, but occasionally, they stumble upon artifacts that seem to originate from beyond our world. From purported extraterrestrial spacecraft to a mysterious satellite orbiting Earth, here are 20 concerning objects that are not from this planet. Number 20. The Walls of Sacsayhuaman. On the northern outskirts of the city of Cusco in Peru is the walled complex of Sacsayhuaman. This archaeological site is known for its remarkable large dry stone walls. Now, you're probably thinking about how there's nothing bizarre about these walls, and you'd be right. By today's standards, these walls might not look like anything special. But consider this, these were built over 6 centuries ago. They're incredibly impressive. These terraces and walls weigh up to 200 tons, and they're among the largest used in any building during that period. Each of the stones that make up the walls is carefully cut to fit together tightly without mortar. Yes, these walls, forming a zigzag pattern, were built with such precision that a single piece of paper cannot fit between many of the stones. That's easy to do in modern times, thanks to precise lasers and water cutters, but centuries ago, just imagine the manpower it took just to lift the boulders, much less cut them into the perfect size and shape. For so long, these interlocking shapes were a puzzle for scientists. Research and experiments suggest that the Incas may have used wooden templates to precisely cut and shape the stones before placing them into the wall. This involved creating a wooden outline of the gap in the wall, which was then used to mark and cut the new stone with high accuracy. But could they have accomplished such an incredible feat on their own? Or did the Sacsayhuaman people receive help from a race way more advanced than people at the time? Number 19. The Dropa Stones. In 1938, a team of archaeologists led by a gentleman allegedly named Chi Pu explored the wilderness of the Bayan Kara Ula Mountains on the border of China and Tibet. It was then that they stumbled upon bizarre stone discs, each about 12 inches in diameter, with a spiral groove emanating from the center to the rim, inscribed with tiny hieroglyphs. These bizarre finds came to be known as the Dropa Stones. They were immediately studied, and yet initial attempts to decipher these symbols didn't reveal much, and the discovery didn't make waves outside of a few obscure reports. It wasn't until several decades later when a Russian scientist named Dr. Tsunamnui supposedly cracked the code, or at least that's how the narrative goes. According to Dr. Tsunamnui, the hieroglyphs tell an astonishing tale of a spacecraft from a distant planet that crash-landed in the Bayan Kara Ula Mountains 12,000 years ago. The occupants, known as the Dropa, found themselves stranded on Earth, and despite their peaceful intentions, were misunderstood and shunned by the local Ham tribes. Dr. Tsunamnui also claimed that the Dropa stones are compact discs of ancient knowledge, alien knowledge. Now, you're probably wondering why such enigmatic and intriguing stones aren't well known. Well, you see, archaeologists doubt its existence and authenticity. So far, none of these stones are available for study in any known museum or research facility. Is it simply because the stones are part of a hoax, or perhaps were they deliberately hidden? I'll let you be the judge. Number 18. The Star Child Skull. The Star Child Skull was initially discovered in the 1930s in a mine tunnel near Mexico's Copper Canyon. However, it wasn't until the late 1990s that this bizarre skull was brought to light by Lloyd Pye. Just as its name suggests, the Star Child Skull is bizarre because it's smaller than an average adult human skull. But that's not everything that makes it intriguing. Its bone is significantly thinner but appears to be stronger, with a biochemical composition that is out of this world, quite literally. With an upturned face, reduced cheekbones, and a cranial capacity suggesting a brain larger than that of a typical human, the skull doesn't really look like a skull. Proponents of the extraterrestrial hypothesis point to DNA testing that reportedly found anomalies suggesting it could be, well, alien. Critics, however, argue that the DNA evidence is inconclusive at best, and that many of the skull's peculiarities can be explained by known genetic conditions. The volume of the skull is also a little larger than the average human adult's brain volume. But what's the truth behind the skull? Well, some believe that the Star Child skull belongs to an extraterrestrial creature. However, others believe that the explanation for this bizarre skull is simply the result of a genetic condition. They argue that the skull is likely the remains of a child who suffered from hydrocephalus, a condition that can cause the head to swell. They also point to other conditions like craniosynostosis, which can alter the shape of the skull as it grows. So, an alien or a poor child with a genetic abnormality. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Number 17. The Voich Manuscript. Browsing the pages of the Voich Manuscript is like seeing information from another world. First discovered in 1912 by the Polish book dealer Wilfred Voynich, this perplexing piece has been dated to the early 15th century. This manuscript has 240 pages and it contains sections on herbal, astronomical, biological, and pharmacological topics, each more bewildering than the last. The herbal section shows plants that don't match any known species on Earth. The astronomical section has zodiac signs and what might be stars or planets that are unknown to us. Linguists from all over the globe have tried to figure out its contents, and even cryptographers have tried to unravel the mystery behind this book. Despite the myriad of theories, including those that suggest advanced knowledge of botany or astronomy, no one has convincingly decoded a single sentence of the Voich Manuscript. Perhaps this is a book that was never meant to be read in the first place. Aside from theories about the manuscript being an extraterrestrial creation, others believe that the manuscript is a book created for scholars to teach about health. Number 16. The Bong Pipes. In the remote part of Qinghai Province, China, are the Bong Pipes, also known as the Dalinga Pipes or the Bong Pipes. These mysterious features are a series of pipe-like objects that were believed to be ancient pipes laid out on and near White Mountain, also known as Mount Baigong, located about 25 miles southwest of the city of Dalinga. These iron pipes run deep inside the mountain and into the lake, varying in size from tiny, barely noticeable ones to some as large as 40 centimeters in diameter. But what's so bizarre about them? Well, there's the fact that they're estimated to be thousands of years old, which shouldn't be possible considering they're made out of iron, along with materials including silica and calcium oxide. Additionally, about 8% of the pipes could not be identified by researchers studying it. This led to conspiracy theories about the pipes being extraterrestrial in origin. The general consensus about these pipes today is that, rather than pipes, they're actually the fossilized tree roots of old trees on the mountains. For many, this theory makes more sense, but many continue to believe in the paranormal and extraterrestrial theories surrounding the pipes. Number 15. The IID Aluminum Wedge. In 1974, archaeologists discovered the IID Aluminum Wedge, a mysterious object found buried beside ancient bones, made from a material that shouldn't have existed in the era it was supposedly from. This is among the out-of-place artifacts that were discovered. First off, it's made of aluminum, which, although common today, was not produced in large quantities by humans until the late 19th century. What's bizarre is the fact that the wedge was found in a layer of earth alongside mastodon bones, which are roughly 11,000 years old. Now, this aluminum artifact has no business being beside remains that are over 11,000 years old. After all, it wasn't until the 19th century that we learned how to extract and craft things out of aluminum. The wedge itself is a lightweight piece, with a length of about 20 centimeters or 7.87 inches, made mostly from aluminum with traces of other elements. Its appearance and composition led some to believe it could be a part of a larger mechanism, maybe even something out of this world. While many believe that the IID aluminum wedge is alien in origin, others also suggest that it might be something man-made, like, say, a piece of World War II military equipment which over time and through unusual circumstances ended up buried next to much older bones. The area where it was found had seen its fair share of action during the war, making this theory plausible. Number 14. Betts Mystery Sphere. In 1974, the Betts family noticed a fire on a field on their property on Fort George Island in Florida. They investigated the small brush fire, and it was then that they came across a small metal sphere the size of a bowling ball. Initially, they believed that the 8-inch, 22-pound sphere came from a cannonball left by New World conquistadors, thinking it has historic value. They decided to take the sphere back to their house. That would have been the end of the story if it wasn't for this bizarre situation. One day, Terry Betts was playing the guitar in their home when the sphere reacted to the sound of the acoustic instrument. It strangely made a throbbing noise. This piqued the interest of the Betts family, and they began investigating the ball. They noticed that the sphere seemed to be moving on its own, and Terry also noticed that the sphere would reverberate when hit with a hammer. This bizarre phenomenon led the family to file a report to the local news, the U.S. Navy, and even a panel of UFO investigators, including the renowned ufologist J. Allen Hynek. The U.S. Navy concluded that the sphere was a stainless steel ball, likely part of an industrial valve and not of extraterrestrial origin. Others claimed to have seen spheres being produced by the Bell and Howell Company, further supporting that it was indeed a ball valve. Despite these examinations, many continue to believe that the Betts Mystery Sphere is something out of this world. Number 13. Roswell Debris. In 1947, rancher M. Brazel woke up to bizarre debris scattered across his sheep pasture in Roswell, New Mexico. What he found were metallic sticks held together with tape, chunks of plastic-like material, and scraps of a substance resembling paper but not entirely. He had no idea what to make of the discovery and turned to the local sheriff for help. However, this discovery was so puzzling that even the nearby Roswell Army Airfield tried to unravel the mystery behind the debris. They released information about finding what they called a flying disc on the field, or in other terms, they discovered a UFO. This quickly garnered the attention of researchers, the public, and, of course, conspiracy theorists, with many believing that the debris wasn't something ordinary but rather something that was out of this world, literally. However, after the initial interest surrounding the incident, the government dismissed the alleged UFO as a tattered weather balloon. Over the years, as the Cold War turned up the heat on national security concerns, the Roswell incident was dismissed as a bizarre hoax. Everyone thought that it was the end of the Roswell incident, but it wasn't. In the 1990s, interest in the Roswell debris was reignited once again when the U.S. military published reports about the true nature of the project involving the debris. It was part of Project Mogul, a top-secret operation using high-altitude balloons to spy on Soviet nuclear tests. The debris matched the description of the equipment used in these missions, yet for many, this explanation was nothing but a way to hopefully hide the true nature of the alleged alien balloon. Number 12. Allen Hills 84001. While many believe that Antarctica is nothing but a frozen and barren wasteland, did you know that it's actually a place where great scientific advancements take place? A lot of research takes place on this part of the planet, but it's also a great location to spot meteorites. Yes, you heard that right. Antarctica is the perfect place to easily find space rocks. Among the ones we found so far is a 4-billion-year-old rock that suggests that Mars had groundwater. Yes, you heard that right. In 1984, a team of scientists combing the icy wastes of Allen Hills in Antarctica discovered something quite interesting, a meteorite about the size of a potato that weighs about 4.3 pounds. This seemingly unassuming stone had traveled millions of years and millions of miles from Mars to Earth. Years later, in 1996, it was revealed that Allen Hills 84001, or simply ALH 84001, contained what appeared to be fossilized microbes, tiny structures that look suspiciously like bacteria. Now, what does this mean? Well, if this is indeed true, it would be the first direct evidence of extraterrestrial life. However, there are several bizarre points about this discovery. Skeptics pointed out that the alleged molecule discovered in the meteorite might not be from Mars, but rather the result of terrestrial contamination. Despite the surrounding controversy, there is debate about the truth of this meteorite. Number 11. King Tutankhamen's Space Dagger. In the 1920s, Tutankhamun's tomb was discovered, and it sparked Egyptomania, with everyone focused on the discovery of the never-before-seen tomb of the young pharaoh. One artifact was overlooked, a dagger that was buried alongside thousands of other treasures. This weapon is now known as King Tutankhamen's Space Dagger. The dagger's blade, made of meteoritic iron, was found to have a high nickel content. For so long, researchers were perplexed about the composition of this meteorite. After all, it contains material that seems to be from another planet. With all the theories surrounding ancient Egyptians being connected with extraterrestrials, many believed that the dagger was another gift given by aliens who visited the ancient Egyptians. Now, this might sound absurd, but there is some truth to this. You see, recent studies revealed that the dagger contained almost the same composition as the Kurga meteorite, found in Mersa near Alexandria. However, rather than a gift from extraterrestrials, the craftsmanship of the dagger suggests that it may not have been produced in Egypt, but was likely a prestigious gift from the Mitanni Empire to Tutankhamun's grandfather. The dagger's material and the techniques used for its creation hint at a sophisticated level of artisanship. For this reason, many still believe that the young pharaoh's dagger is not human in origin. Number 10. The Black Knight Satellite. In the 1950s and 60s, a bizarre legend began to surface. A satellite had been orbiting our planet for the past 13,000 years without our knowledge. This alleged satellite has been called the Black Knight Satellite. Now, it's impossible for humans to have sent satellites into space a staggering 13,000 years ago. That's way before any known human technology could have possibly reached space. For reference, the Soviet satellite Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite we sent into outer space. One of the most cited pieces of evidence surrounding this satellite is a photograph taken during the 1998 NASA STS-88 mission, showing a peculiar object floating in space. Conspiracy theorists quickly labeled it as the Black Knight satellite, claiming it was evidence of an alien observer. But is it actually one? For some, yes, but for NASA, this spy is nothing but space debris, specifically a thermal blanket that had become detached during the mission. Even so, many continue to believe that the Black Knight satellite has been observing us and intercepting signals we send through our own satellite. Number 9. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, in the northern reaches of the Baltic Sea, nestled between Sweden and Finland, the Ocean X team, led by Swedish explorer Peter Lindbergh and his band of treasure hunters, discovered an anomaly at the bottom of the ocean using sonar. This anomaly measured around 200 feet in diameter and was circular, with features that, according to the Ocean X team, seemed man-made or rather of extraterrestrial origin. The Swedish-based Ocean X team shared what they found with researchers, But the bizarre thing is that information about the anomaly is scarce. Aside from the sonar image provided by Ocean X, there's no other information available about it. It makes sense, considering the anomaly was found over 295 feet underwater, and so far, no research team is interested in taking the risk to study it. With many believing that it's nothing but a strangely shaped feature on the seabed, the Ocean X team, however, believes otherwise. They describe the anomaly as having straight lines, right angles, and even what appears to be stair-like structures and passages, not exactly what you'd expect from a natural rock formation. They also reported equipment malfunctions when they got close to the anomaly, further fueling the mystery and conspiracy theories. Others speculate it could be the remains of a World War II structure or device, considering the Baltic Sea's history during the war. Despite all these theories, the truth behind the Baltic Sea anomaly remains unknown. Number 8. The Fuente Magna Bowl. In 1958, the libation bowl was discovered near Lake Titicaca in Bolivia. This large stone vessel was used for offerings, supported by the beautifully engraved anthropomorphic characters, zoological motifs, and scripts on its surface. For so long, the Fuente Magna remained in storage in the Museo de Metals Preciosos until two Bolivian researchers, Argentine Bernardo Biados and Freddy Arce, sought to investigate the origins of the mysterious relic. It turned out that a local pig farmer kept the bowl and even used it to feed his pigs, not knowing about its importance before it was housed in the museum. Now, who would have thought that it would become one of the most mysterious and intriguing artifacts in the world? The inscriptions were meticulously analyzed by experts, including Dr. Clyde Winters, who suggested that the inscriptions on the cup might represent Proto-Sumerian script, offering a translation that points to a religious or ceremonial use, specifically for making libations to the goddess Nia. However, a lot of mystery surrounds the cup to this day, with some even connecting its bizarre inscriptions to extraterrestrials. Researchers are still investigating and examining this cup. Number 7. Dogu figurines. The Dogu figurines are one of Japan's most intriguing archaeological finds, dating back to the Jomon period, which spanned from around 14,000 to 400 BC. These figurines are quite small in size, measuring about 10 to 30 centimeters in height. They're usually made of clay and exhibit a wide range of shapes, bizarre and weird shapes. The Jomon people are believed to be the creators of these figurines. After all, they're known to be skilled in pottery. Early Dogu figurines were quite abstract, featuring simple representations of the human figure. However, by 400 BC, they began to feature arms, legs, and simple heads, evolving further by 300 BC to have fully formed faces. These human, or perhaps animal-like figurines, are the subject of several conspiracy theories. While many believe that they're symbolic representations inspired by Japanese art, their purpose and significance remain unclear. Archaeologists believe that the figures are religious idols or talismans for health and safe childbirth, toys for children, or funerary offerings. The prevailing theory, however, suggests they were used in rituals, possibly related to fertility, given their frequent depiction of female figures with pronounced feminine features. There's also a theory that suggests that the Dogu figurines are actually modeled after extraterrestrial creatures that flew down and interacted with the Jomon people. Even so, many believe the more logical theory, but the jury is still out. Number 6. Aade lizard men. The story of the Aade lizard men is somewhat similar to the Dogu figurines. Unearthed from ancient Mesopotamian sites dating back to the Aade period, circa 6500 to 3800 BC, these artifacts exhibit humanoid figures with distinct reptilian features such as elongated heads, almond-shaped eyes, and lizard-like noses. Just like the Jomon people, the people responsible for creating these figurines are renowned for their craftsmanship and immense skill in construction. Just like the Aade lizard men, the purpose and significance of these figurines remain subjects of speculation. While some suggest they may represent deities or supernatural beings associated with the Aade culture's religious practices, others speculate on more extraordinary interpretations, including the possibility of ancient contact with non-human entities. Ever heard of reptilians? These creatures, as their name suggests, are believed to resemble reptiles but are capable of hiding their reptilian traits and look somewhat human. Many believe that these suspicious beings have been living amongst us since ancient times. So, do the Aade figurines belong to these reptilians? Well, some believe that these figurines are completely symbolic, but others also believe that they were created after creatures that are out of this world. Now it's time for today's topic. Professor Langley's gaze was fixed on the enigmatic golden sphere before him, housed within the museum's dimly lit Egyptian wing. The object, unearthed in a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx's paws, was said to predate the earliest dynasties, a celestial atlas of sorts, adorned with constellations that hinted at an otherworldly origin. Whispers among the academic community suggested that the sphere was not of this earth. its golden sheen never tarnished, and the stars it bore didn't match any known patterns from the night skies. Hieroglyphics encircling its base spoke of gods descending from the stars, imparting knowledge before ascending back into the cosmos. Critics dismissed these tales as mere sensationalism, a modern-day myth to attract wide-eyed tourists. But as Langley peered closer, he could not deny the uncanny precision with which it mapped unfamiliar heavens, a guide for navigation through the stars rather than the Nile. Some proclaimed the artifact an elaborate hoax, a forgery planted in the sands of time. Yet, there were those who believed, those who saw in its intricate design a message from ancient visitors, a token of cosmic communion left behind for mankind to one day decipher. Number 5. The WOW signal. The WOW signal was detected on August 15, 1977, by Jerry Emin, stationed at The Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Observatory. We've long detected signals from outer space, but this one, as Emin noted, is quite different. You see, this strong, narrowband radio signal stood out due to its unusual intensity and pattern, leading Emin to scribble the word, "Wow," complete with an exclamation point, next to the signal's alphanumeric representation on the printout, hence its name. The signal's frequency was close to 1,420 MHz, a range significant because it's the natural frequency of hydrogen, suggesting to some that it might be a universal calling card for intelligent life trying to make contact. Yes, you heard that right. There is a chance that the WOW signal was sent by extraterrestrials, or should I say, there was a chance. However, recent research revealed that the signal might have been from a hydrogen cloud that passed through the sky area the Big Ear was observing in 1977. This natural explanation posits that the comet, being more massive 40 years ago, could have produced a strong enough signal, potentially solving the mystery of the WOW signal. Source: a message from intelligent life in outer space or a strong signal caused by a normal phenomenon. Well, we're yet to be sure. Number 4. UMUA. On October 19, 2017, astronomers at the University of Hawaii encountered an unexpected visitor that would soon be known as the first interstellar object detected passing through our solar system. This unknown cosmic object was detected by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope at the university. Needless to say, it's an intriguing object. You see, aside from the fact that this is the first interstellar visitor that came into the solar system, we're unable to properly classify UMUA. It was initially thought to be a comet, but further observation revealed mixed results. UMUA showed no signs of cometary activity, like a tail or coma, after its close pass by the Sun, leading to its classification as an asteroid. However, its slight acceleration, not accounted for by gravitational forces alone, hinted at behavior more typical of comets. The intrigue around UMUA doesn't stop at its classification. Its physical properties are unlike anything observed in our solar system. This elongated, cigar-shaped object, estimated to be up to a quarter-kilometer long, has an aspect ratio as high as 10:1, which has never been observed among known asteroids and comets before. What's more, its surface is dark red, similar to objects found in the outer solar system, suggesting a composition rich in organic compounds that have been irradiated by cosmic rays for hundreds of millions of years. So what exactly is this object? Comet, asteroid, or alien spaceship that somehow just passed through our solar system? Well, we're yet to know. Number 3. Pumapunku. Pumapunku, a part of the ancient Tiwanaku site near Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, is another pre-Columbian archaeological wonder that has baffled historians and archaeologists. The term Pumapunku translates to Door of the Puma. It's believed that this ancient site was built between 700 and 1000 AD, at the height of the Tiwanaku Empire, which dominated the region and extended its influence over parts of Bolivia, Peru, and Chile. The stonework used in the creation of this site is astonishing. The site features terraced earth and mounds lined with intricately carved red sandstone blocks that are believed to have shone brilliantly under the sun. The blocks comprising the walls of Pumapunku are estimated to weigh as much as 280,000 pounds. Now, what's bizarre is the fact that these stone blocks were mined an astonishing 10 kilometers away from the site. Smaller rocks were also obtained a staggering 90 kilometers away from Pumapunku. How did these people, with no modern tools or technology, manage to mine and transport the stones, much less craft them into walls with insane precision? Some of these walls have socket-like holes, leading some to believe that the people who created the blocks comprising Pumapunku possessed advanced knowledge that was unusual for their time. Number 2. Our message to the aliens. Humanity hasn't only been waiting for aliens to communicate with us. We've been proactive about establishing a connection as well. As early as 1974, researchers Frank Drake and Carl Sagan created the Arecibo message. This is now known as the most renowned and strongest signal we ever sent into space. For those curious, The Arecibo message was a binary-coded communication containing basic, pertinent information. It included a human stick figure, representations of DNA, the solar system, and a graphic representation of the telescope. So, did we receive any answers? Well, so far, it seems that we're still waiting for a return call. But who knows, we might receive a response soon. Do you think it's wise for us to reveal more about humanity through signals sent to outer space? After all, if there is a sentient and possibly more advanced race out there, they could easily use that information for harmful purposes. Number 1. Moai statues of Easter Island. The Moai statues on Easter Island have become iconic symbols all over the globe. However, these heads remain shrouded in mystery and surrounded by conspiracies to this day. Also known as Reino Raraku, these massive monolithic human figures were carved by the Polynesian inhabitants of the island sometime between 1250 and 1500 AD. Most of these impressive statues were crafted from tough, compressed volcanic ash from Reino Raraku, a volcanic crater that served as a quarry for 95% of the island's moai. These statues are known for their rather large features: a large, broad nose, strong chin, rectangular ears, and deep eye slits. For a long time, researchers have been puzzled about whom these statues represent: Polynesian ancestors or visitors from another planet. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.